Hello, Koinos community, and happy 2025. In this video, I wanted to give you all an update on my plans for the future. If you haven't heard, I'm no longer working at Koinos Group, but that doesn't mean I'm not bullish on Koinos or Koinos Group, the company I ran for 4 years. In fact, the opposite. I'm still a large shareholder in Koinos Group. I still have not sold any of the coin that I've acquired over the years, and I'm still on the board of directors of Koinos Group. In fact, part of the reason I wanted to move on from Koinos Group is because there's so much more that I want to do with Koinos. But in order to understand where I want to go, you have to first understand a bit of history and what my original vision was for Koinos and for Koinos Group, because these are two very different things. I think it's a pretty fascinating story. So I got into crypto through the Steem blockchain, and what attracted me to that blockchain in particular was not what attracted most people. I didn't really care about the on-chain censorship resistant content component. For me, it was the feeless design and the upvote downvote mechanism for distributing crypto, which combined to not just expose ordinary people to blockchain tech, but actually give them crypto, make them wealthier. And I'm still incredibly proud of how much money has been distributed by the Steem blockchain and then the Hive blockchain. I worked with Michael and Steve, the architects of Koinos, at Steemit, the company behind the Steem blockchain. And it was pretty obvious to me toward the end that Steemit was not going to make it. And so I started developing a kind of contingency plan. One of the things that I tend to be better at than other people is long-term strategic thinking and planning. I kind of obsess over all the possible futures and how to be best positioned for them. Anyway, the way I thought about it was that we needed a lifeboat. I was afraid that if Steemit died, then Michael and Steve would move on, get jobs elsewhere, and then Steem would stagnate and die, leaving the world without a great feeless blockchain, a blockchain that could expose ordinary people to this technology, empower them, and enrich them. That's where the idea for Open Orchard came in. And the idea there was to create a general purpose smart contract layer that would operate on top of Steem. Take advantage of the speed and feeless design, but give us smart contracts. It sounds kind of like what Caspa is thinking about doing now, and maybe that's a good idea for that protocol. Then the plan was to build a flagship application called OpenLink, which would be a social network on top of Open Orchard. And I got approval from the managing director of Steemit to pursue this because it was in the best interest of Steem. And if Steemit had been able to turn things around, then maybe that would have been a good idea. But they didn't. And eventually Michael and Steve and I all left Steemit, and I asked them to join me at Open Orchard. Of course, now that two of the best blockchain engineers, I think, in the world were on the team, that changed everything. We agreed that the feeless design of Steem was really undervalued, and we agreed that smart contracts were absolutely critical because we saw how crippled developers on Steem were because they didn't have the ability to add their own code to the blockchain. So Open Orchard and OpenLink didn't really make sense anymore, and we started a new company with a new goal of creating a totally new feeless blockchain with smart contracts built from the ground up. But part of what I was trying to do was really figure out a way to keep Michael and Steve working together and working on blockchain technology, because advancing adoption of blockchain technology has always been really at the heart of everything that I do. And I could see that while Michael and Steve are both amazing engineers as individuals, together they're magical. And you can see that in what they've been able to accomplish basically on their own at Koinos Group, with Ron and I acting as support. We were building a company, raising money. There's a lot of stuff involved in getting a company up and running and stable. You have to remember that there was a time not long ago that it was far from certain whether Bitcoin and blockchain and crypto and smart contracts would ever achieve any kind of meaningful adoption. And I would obsess over what would happen if they failed. How much longer would humanity have to live without this transformative tech? Would we ever get it? Or would people be scared off by the failure? Who would be empowered if we didn't have this critical check on centralized organizations, whether that would be multinational corporations or authoritarian governments? Now, let's fast forward to the current day. Obviously, crypto, blockchain, Bitcoin, smart contract adoption has reached escape velocity. Not only that, but the issue of gas fees has been placed front and center. Steve and Michael have been working on Koinos Group and the Koinos blockchain for almost 5 years now, and they're now in charge of the company, which is in a stable position. Looking back at my original vision, I'm frankly stunned at how much of it I've been able to accomplish, of course, with them. We shipped something no one thought we could ship, and Koinos Group is going strong. So, in many ways, I've done what I set out to do, but there's also a lot that I haven't been able to accomplish yet. There were some good ideas in that original vision, which I haven't been able to execute on yet. We've created an amazing feeless blockchain, but it hasn't reached the level of adoption that I think it deserves. At the same time, I've put one of my greatest passions, creating content, on the back burner. So what's my plan now? Well, first and foremost, I want to create content that helps people achieve abundance. Technology is one side of that, but information, knowledge, understanding how the world works and how it's changing is the other side, and it's just as critical. I also have several ideas for projects on Koinos that I think could really take things to the next level. But like I said, I want to focus on content creation. So my plan is to explore these ideas out in the open through my content, which has the added benefit of allowing people to get involved early, influence the projects, and leverage the ideas to build awesome stuff on Koinos. In fact, I just got off an awesome video chat with some people who are developing an app that really aligns with what I'm trying to do and the projects that I've worked on in the past as well. But that's all I'm going to say about that for now. All right, so that's it for this video. But if all of this sounds like something you might want to be a part of, then just follow me on X and subscribe to my channel on YouTube. Let's make 2025 a year to remember.